last year, you saw a lot of people have down years. I mean, you saw Russell Wilson have his worst year. Aaron Rodgers had a bad year. It was a bad year for a lot of people. One person that was also a bad year for was Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is considered one of the best corners in football, and he just he and the Rams as a whole had a bad year. I mean, the Rams were coming off a Super Bowl and didn't even make the playoffs. Like, didn't even come close. Aaron Donald got hurt, but even when he was in, they weren't really winning many games. It was just bad. And like I said with Aaron Rodgers, losing and down years give teams outs. Because it would be crazy to trade or get rid of somebody and they're coming off a peak year. They're coming off a really good year. If Jalen Ramsey played to the level that he has known to be, or he's known to play, and the level that his name warrants, there's no way that the Rams would even entertain trading somebody like him. Because now, yes, he is expensive. And yes, the Rams struggled last year. But again, it also goes, Jalen Ramsey struggled as well. If the Rams didn't struggle, like if the Rams made it to the playoffs, or if the Rams made some noise, made a big playoff run, or maybe came a game. No, if they made the playoffs, I think Jalen Ramsey would be on the team. But you don't make the playoffs. And now you're looking at the contract, and the contract's more expensive. And you look at it as, well, it's expensive and it's not really leading to wins, so we can easily give him up. So now Jalen Ramsey gets traded to the Dolphins. This move right here is a last year I thought that if Tua didn't succeed with the roster that they had, They made those moves specifically for Tua. Last year, of course, you had Jalen Waddle, but you got Tyreek Hill. You have a legit number one receiver and a receiver that has the talent to be number one in Jalen Waddle. You also have Mike Gesicki. They made so many pieces, and the offensive line was good. They made so many pieces. Last year, I felt, was the year where they said, hey, we're giving you everything that you need to. If you do not succeed, we're going to have to move on because you can't get any better than this. Now, statistically, Tua had a good season. Of course, we can talk about the injuries. We can talk about that. But statistically, he had a good season. But the good is and of course you can say how the season ended was due to injury, but I don't think even if he would have stayed healthy, I don't think that the Dolphins were good enough to win the Super Bowl or even to make a deep run. Like if you paired the Dolphins up against the Chiefs, I didn't think they were going to win. If you paired the Dolphins up against the Bengals, I didn't think they were going to win. I just, now this move. You bolster the offense. The offense is already bolstered. The offense is already really good. Now you bolster the defense. You pair the Dolphins now have arguably one of the best best backfields in the NFL. Now that you pair Jalen Ramsey with an Xavier Howard, this move wasn't solely based on Tua, but this move signifies not every team. Oh, okay. One misnomer in sports is that every team goes for it. That is a lie. That is a lie. Of course, when you go in, you think to yourself, this could be our year. If this happens, we could make some noise. But once you've seen, you find out very quickly that this, and this isn't going to happen. Not every team goes for it. Some teams go to tanking quickly. Some teams go into the season, we may not have the good roster. We're going to tank. So, yeah, don't think to yourself that every team in professional sports goes for a championship. The Dolphins trading for Jalen Ramsey signifies that's exactly what they're doing. You got the big wide receiver or the big name wide receiver a year ago, and now you're getting the big name cornerback. I don't know. This, to me, the success of this team, the success of any team, honestly, is the play of their quarterback. Is a quarterback driven league. Hell, if that wasn't the case, the 49ers would win damn near every year because of the talent that they have on their team. But because there is a huge question mark at the quarterback position, that is why the 49ers have not been as successful in recent years as they could have been. Because if you look, last year, probably the 49ers had the best team. The year before, 49ers had the best team. The year they went to the Super Bowl, the 49ers had the best team. But you say all that, and 49ers only were in one Super Bowl. In those years, not altogether. The Dolphins, when you look up, the Dolphins have now one of the best rosters in football. And I think there's more on Tua's plate now than there has been. Now, of course, his health is more important than anything. That's without saying. But if we want to know how good Tua is, we will see the success or lack thereof success with the Dolphins, because there's not many holes at this point. Last year, one of the biggest holes was the backfield. While you had Xavier Howard, outside of that, it was kind of bare bones. Now you have Jalen Ramsey. And while Jalen Ramsey had a bad year last year, I do think that he's still a top cornerback. So you pair those two together. Then you also have a really good offensive or defensive front. And with I think Melvin Ingram's still on the team, like you have, and then of course the offense. We're really about to see how good Tua is. Now I know I said that last year with Tyreek Hill, and in the same exact feeling that I had last year, I have right now, just even more, because now you can't say, well, Tua was good, but the defense wasn't. You can't say that. Or Tua was good, but the back end of the defense kept giving up points. You can't say that anymore. Now, if Jalen Ramsey comes out and has a duplicate year than he did last year, then we have some problems. But it's on Tua. I know it sucks to say, but it's on Tua. We're going to see how good they are. The Dolphins, especially this year, like you don't make this move. You don't make a move to get Tyreek Hill. You don't make a move to get Jalen Ramsey if you don't think that you're good enough to contend. And that goes back to my point where it says not every team goes for it. You do not get Jalen Ramsey if you're not going for it, especially when you know how expensive he is. But he's only expensive if he's not producing. When Russell Wilson got that deal from the Broncos, everyone was saying, "Yo, that's an expensive deal," but nobody was saying, "Wow, that's an expensive deal. That's not a good deal." when it happened. The only time people were saying that's a bad deal is when they started losing. And when we saw how the season went for the Broncos. You see, you're only expensive when you're not producing. So we're going to see that Jalen Ramsey has an expensive contract, but it's well worth it if he's producing. And if you look, the Dolphins have one of the best rosters in football. And we're really going to see how good Tua Tagovailoa is. I know last year, and hopefully he has a injury-free season, even though that's kind of hard. I don't wish injury upon injury. I don't wish injury upon anybody. But it's kind of hard to assume that, seeing as though he's been injured damn near every year of his career, including college. But I wish for a healthy season for Tua, but we're going to see just how good Tua is and how good it's on Tua, because the Dolphins are one of the best rosters in football, especially with this Jalen Ramsey move. So, oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.